Ever wonder what takes a business from just okay to like seriously successful? Well, today we're going to find out. We're going deep on copywriting.
Ooh, yeah.
Using this awesome YouTube video with Bill Glazer, marketing legend.
He's the best.
We'll break down how to write words that actually sell, no matter what your business is, right?
Yeah.
Like you could be a total beginner, already know your stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, there's something here for everyone.
Definitely.
And we're going to uncover some really cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the one skill that's most valuable for any business, according to Dan Kennedy, another big name in marketing. We'll also get into Glazer's 11 building blocks of copywriting. These are like the must-haves.
Okay.
You can use them for anything, sales letters, websites, even like a postcard.
Interesting.
And get this, we'll learn about a Porsche-buying drug dealer.
What?
Stick with us. You'll see how it all ties into making your copy awesome.
All right, I'm hooked already.
So first things first, Glazer makes this really bold claim.
Okay. He says that copywriting is the single most important skill for anyone in business.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's all about connecting with people, right?
Yeah, and like actually persuading them to do something,
To buy your product, sign up for your service, whatever it is.
Right. And he goes even further.
Oh, it's that.
He says most businesses are just one great piece of copy away from total transformation.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Think about that. One ad, one sales letter, one website page could completely change your business.
Makes you think, what could that one piece be for my business?
Exactly. And Glazer has this really cool system for making that happen.
Lay it on me.
It's got 3 parts.
Okay.
First, the 11 building blocks, like we mentioned earlier. These are like the essential elements of any piece of good copy.
Got it.
Then there's the 20 critical copy concepts. These are more like advanced strategies.
Ooh, getting fancy.
They help you really make your copy stand out and be super effective.
Like it.
And lastly, there's 7 copywriting kryptonite points. These are the things that can totally kill your copy.
So, like, mistakes to avoid.
Yep, big time.
All right, I'm taking notes.
But before we dive into all that, there's this story Glazer tells
Oh.
about buying his Porsche.
His Porsche. What does that have to do with copywriting?
Well, he went to the dealership and,
Yeah.
get this,
Yeah.
he told the salesperson he was a drug dealer.
He did not.
I know, right? Crazy.
Why would he do that?
He said he was tired of all the usual questions.
Ah, I see.
Like when people find out he's a marketing consultant.
They probably want advice or free consulting.
Clever move.
It's all about choosing the right words to get the desired outcome.
Makes sense. So let's get back to those 11 building blocks.
Absolutely. Glazer uses a real-life example to show how they work.
Oh, like a case study.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He breaks down this $1 million sales letter.
$1 million.
Yeah, it's the real deal. And he shows how each of the 11 building blocks is used in it. That's awesome, like seeing the theory in action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So first up, we have the headline.
Okay, that's always important.
Right. Glazer says a strong headline needs to grab your attention immediately.
Make you want to keep reading.
Exactly. And this particular headline uses bolding and capitalization to really stand out.
I see. Eye-catching stuff.
And it even name drops Dan Kennedy for that extra oomph.
Smart move.
Then we have the subhead, which kind of builds on that momentum.
Okay, so what does it do?
Well, it offers something irresistible, like a free opportunity.
Oh, I like free stuff.
Everyone does. And then, to add that urgency, it throws in a deadline.
Deadlines definitely get people moving.
It's like, don't miss out.
Exactly. What else?
Testimonials.
Oh, yeah. Those are important.
Super important for building credibility.
People trust what other people say.
Right, exactly. And in this sales letter, one testimonial even calls the product a masterpiece.
Wow. High praise.
Right. And then there's the guarantee.
Guarantees are good.
Glazer is all about strong guarantees.
It's just confidence in the product.
Exactly. And this sales letter offers a full refund within 365 days.
That's a whole year.
It's bold, but it shows they really believe in what they're offering.
I can see why it worked. What else is there?
Glazer also talks about what he calls cosmetics.
Cosmetics? Like makeup?
Not quite. It's about how the letter looks visually.
Ah, okay.
The use of color, fonts, pictures, all that good stuff.
So it's easy to read, not overwhelming.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
So it's not just the words, it's how they're presented.
Right. And what about the offer itself?
Oh yeah, that's important. In this letter, the offer is super generous.
Like what?
It includes a free seminar on top of the actual product,
Right.
adds a ton of value for the customer, and then, of course, there are those deadlines sprinkled throughout.
Always got to have deadlines.
Keeps that sense of urgency going.
Makes you want to act fast.
Exactly. Then there's the storytelling element.
Oh, I love a good story.
Glazer says stories help people connect with your message on a deeper level.
Makes it more memorable.
Exactly. And this sales letter includes a pretty fascinating story about Sydney Biddlebarrows.
Who's that?
You might know her as the Mayflower Madam.
Oh, wow. The one who ran that high-end escort service.
The one and only.
That's a wild story to include in a sales letter.
Right. It's definitely not your average marketing tactic, but it works.
I guess it grabs your attention, that's for sure.
For sure. And then there are the bullet points.
Bullet points, my favorite.
They make everything so much easier to read.
Especially in a long sales letter like this.
Exactly. And you can use them to highlight key points and benefits.
Concise and to the point.
And this letter even uses bolding and color within the bullet points.
Oh, fancy.
Just to make certain phrases pop even more.
Clever. What else?
We can't forget the PS, the postscript.
The PS. I thought that was just an afterthought.
It might seem that way, but Glazer says it's the second most read part of any sales letter.
Really? After the headline?
Yep. It's a prime spot to reinforce key points or even offer an extra bonus.
So don't waste that space.
Exactly. This sales letter uses multiple PS sections.
Wow. They really went all out.
They want to make sure you don't miss anything.
I'm seeing how all these pieces fit together now.
It's like a puzzle, right?
Yeah. Each piece plays a role in making the whole thing work.
And speaking of pieces, we can't forget the close.
The grand finale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is where you tell the reader exactly what to do next.
Call to action.
Yep. And this sales letter has a very clear close.
What does it say?
It tells readers to grab their fax machines. Remember, this is an older letter.
Right.
And send in their order forms.
No messing around.
Nope. It really emphasizes the urgency of the offer.
I'm starting to understand why this letter made $1 million.
Right. Each element builds on the last, creating this powerful chain of persuasion.
Pretty amazing.
And Glazer says that out of all these building blocks, there's one that's the most important.
What?
The headline. He calls it the king of copywriting.
Interesting. I can see why it's the first thing people see.
Exactly. And without a captivating headline, people won't even bother reading the rest of your copy.
So how do you write a headline that really grabs people?
Glazer really stresses how much time he spends on headlines.
Like, how much?
He says he writes at least 10 for every piece of copy.
Wow, that's a lot.
Sometimes even hundreds.
Seriously?
Yeah, he's all about finding that perfect hook. And you know what else?
What?
He says short headlines aren't always better.
Really? I always thought shorter was punchier.
It can be, but Glazer's written headlines up to 30 words long.
And they worked.
Yep. Sometimes the longer ones are what grab people. It's all about the words you use.
Makes sense.
Like, he gives this example, turning a boring headline like 50% off sale into something way more exciting.
Okay, I'm curious.
It becomes, shh.
Oh.
Discover the business name half-off sale that other industry stores don't want you to know about.
Ooh, I like that. It's like a secret.
Exactly. And notice how he even spells out 50 instead of using the number.
Oh, yeah, that's a good trick.
It makes it stand out more.
Clever. So we've got those 11 building blocks down. What about those 20 critical copy concepts?
Those are like the secret sauce.
They sound intriguing.
They really help you take your copy to the next level.
Yeah.
But first,
Yeah.
Glazer reminds us that copywriting is basically salesmanship, just in print.
Makes sense. You're still trying to persuade someone.
Right. It's like you're having a conversation with the reader.
And you want them to take action.
Exactly. So, Glazer stresses the importance of knowing your audience.
Knowing who you're talking to, right?
Yep. He calls it message to market match. Your message has to resonate with the right people.
Like, you wouldn't use the same language to sell a luxury car as you would a toy, right?
Exactly. It's all about tailoring your message.
Yeah.
And he suggests doing your homework first.
Homework. Like research and stuff.
Yep. Understanding your product or service inside and out. Knowing your ideal customer, checking out the competition.
Important stuff.
And if you're using direct mail, he breaks down the whole package.
The whole package, like the envelope and everything.
Everything. From the outer envelope to the letter, any brochures, and of course the order form.
Speaking of order forms, he had something interesting to say about those.
Oh yeah, he said a lot of people actually look at the order form first.
Before even reading the sales letter, why?
They want to know the price.
Makes sense. And what they're signing up for.
Exactly. So Glazer says your order form needs to be clear, concise, and easy on the eyes.
So it's not an afterthought.
Nope. It needs to be as persuasive as the rest of your copy. Use enticing language, highlight any special offers or deadlines.
Make it irresistible.
Exactly. Then there's this idea of readership paths.
Readership paths, what's that?
It's how people read your copy. Glazer points out that not everyone reads linearly.
So some people skim, some jump around.
Exactly. Some go straight to the PS. So you need to use strong visuals, compelling subheads, and good formatting to guide the reader.
Make it easy for them to digest the information.
Right. Whether they read every word or just skim. And another thing for direct mail.
Yeah.
Personalization.
Oh, yeah. People love that.
Glazer gives this example using a window envelope.
Okay.
With the recipient's name printed on an insert visible through the window.
So you see your name before you even open it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a simple trick, but it makes a huge difference.
People are more likely to open it if it feels personal.
Exactly. Then there's believability.
That's important. No one likes to feel like they're being tricked.
Right. So Glazer says you need to back up your claims.
With evidence, testimonials, a strong guarantee.
Yep, all those things build trust.
Yeah.
And speaking of grabbing attention,
What about?
Glazer's a big fan of using photographs and illustrations.
Visuals are always good.
He even tells this funny story about using a photo of himself in a straitjacket.
He didn't. Why a straitjacket?
He wanted to emphasize how far he'd go to help his clients.
Oh, I see. That's pretty memorable.
It was a way to make his marketing stand out. And then there are grabbers.
Grabbers, like what?
Things like stickers, magnets, unusual shapes, anything to make your mailings pop.
Oh, fun stuff.
And he also likes to use humor.
Humor can be tricky, though.
It definitely is. You have to know your audience. But when done right, it can be very effective.
Keeps people engaged.
Exactly. Then there's this idea of letting the reader in on a secret.
Ooh, I like secrets.
People are naturally curious. So if you can make them feel like they have exclusive information, they'll be more interested.
Makes them feel special.
Right. Glazer also talks about involving the reader, asking questions, inviting feedback.
Making it interactive.
Exactly. Then there's takeaway selling.
Takeaway selling, what's that?
It's presenting your offer as something scarce or exclusive.
Like a limited time offer.
Yep. Creates that fear of missing out. And of course, there's the power of celebrity endorsements.
Oh, yeah. People are definitely influenced by celebrities.
It's like social proof on steroids. And going back to order forms.
Didn't we already talk about those?
We did, but Glazer has even more tips. Like, make sure the instructions are crystal clear, the layout is easy to understand, and offer multiple payment options.
Remove any barriers to buying.
Exactly. And to make things easier on yourself, Glazer's all about using shortcuts.
Shortcuts? Like what?
Swipe files, templates, things like that.
So you don't have to start from scratch every time.
Exactly. He's a big believer in learning from what works.
Makes sense. And finally,
Yeah.
he says to know when good is good enough.
Oh, yeah. You can get caught up in perfecting every word.
Perfectionism can be a killer.
It can. Sometimes you just need to hit publish and get your message out there.
Don't overthink it.
Exactly. So that's the 20 critical copy concepts in a nutshell.
Wow, that's a lot of information.
It is, but it's all super valuable stuff. And it all builds on those 11 building blocks we talked about earlier.
Right, it's like a layered approach.
Exactly. Now, are you ready for the danger zone?
Danger zone? What do you mean?
We're about to dive into the 7 copywriting kryptonite mistakes.
Oh, those sound scary. I better take good notes.
So let's get right into those copywriting kryptonite points. You know, the things that can totally sabotage your copy. What's the first one?
First up, putting your logo, business name, all that at the top above the headline.
Seems harmless enough.
But it can actually hurt you. You want that headline to grab them right away, not their attention going to your logo first.
Yeah, makes sense. Gotta hook them out. What else?
Not telling your whole story.
Oh, you mean like your business's story?
Exactly. You might be tired of telling it, but your audience hasn't heard it a million times like you have. Share that journey, the struggles you've overcome, what makes you unique. It makes you more relatable.
Right, people connect with that. Okay, what's next on the list?
Blank space.
Oh, like on the page.
Yep. Glazer and Kennedy, they both say blank space doesn't sell. Use every bit of that real estate to engage the reader, words, pictures, you name it.
So fill it up, make it count.
Definitely. And another thing, don't underestimate how much work this is.
Yeah, it's easy to think one postcard or email will make you millions.
Right. But it takes planning, consistency, really knowing your audience.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay.
Okay, what else should we watch out for?
Writing from a me perspective instead of a you.
Oh, interesting.
It's subtle, but it changes how your message comes across. Talk about how you can solve the reader's problems, not just how great you are.
Make it about them, not you.
Got it.
Got it.
Exactly. Now, this one's important. You got to tell people how to take action.
You mean like what to do next?
Yep. You've got their attention. They're interested. Now what? Make it super clear what they should do. Visit your website, call you, whatever it is.
Don't leave them hanging.
Nope. And finally, the biggest kryptonite of all.
I'm almost scared to ask.
Being boring.
Oh, that's the worst.
Nobody wants to read something dull and lifeless. You got to grab them, keep them engaged, make them feel something.
Make it an experience. So those are the 7 deadly sins of copywriting. But Glazer also has some boosters, right?
Oh, yeah. These are like little extra things to give your copy a boost.
Okay, I like it.
One easy one, use multiple stamps on your mailings, especially commemorative ones.
Wait, stamps?
Sounds silly, but it adds a little something special. And if you put them on upside down or at an angle, even better.
So it's like you put extra thought into it.
Exactly. Another one, think about how you put your mailings together, the order of things.
Okay, so like the order of the brochures and stuff.
Yep. Glazer says put them in from back to front, so the last thing you put in is the first thing they see when they open it.
Oh, clever. Anything else?
Premiums.
Premiums. What are those?
Basically free gift.
Oh, I like free gifts.
Everyone does. Could be a bonus report, a discount, a free consultation, something to sweeten the deal.
Makes sense.
And make sure you really show it off in your copy, highlight how valuable it is.
So it's tempting.
Exactly.
Wow, we've covered a lot today. The building blocks, the advanced concepts, those kryptonite mistakes. My head is spinning.
It's a lot, but it all comes down to understanding the power of words, how they can influence people, drive action, build businesses.
And you don't have to be a marketing guru to do it.
Nope. Anyone can learn this stuff.
Right. Just apply these principles, keep practicing, find what works for you.
Exactly. And maybe someday you'll be sharing your own copywriting success stories on the deep dive.
I'd love that. Until then, thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.